The Church rejects the idea people can choose their gender. The Vatican's Congregation for Catholic Education put out the new document. It calls for students to learn the full original truth of masculinity and femininity. The 31-page report is called Male and Female, He Created Them. Moral theologian Joan Kingsland tells Catholic News Agency it provides much needed clarity about the truth of the human person. There are lifestyles which enslave the person and leave the person in darkness about the true good and real happiness. Father Robert Gahl is an ethics professor at the Pontifical University of the Holy Cross. He joins us from Rome. Father, thank you very much. Now, this document rejects the idea that people can change their genders, but it also calls for a path of dialogue. Was that the right approach to take?
Definitely. It's really important for us to recognize that gender depends upon sexuality. This is important just in terms of our own human reason, in terms of philosophy. It's also very important because of our Christian faith, that we believe that we are embodied individuals and that we are saved by a man who was brought to us by his mother, by the Blessed Virgin Mary. So the right response that the Church is giving us right now is to enter into dialogue, but at the same time to reason about the fact that gender depends upon sexuality, and sexuality is dyadic. It's dimorphic. One is either male or female, a man or a woman.
But there are critics, you know, who will say the concepts in this report are out of date. What do you say to them?
Well, some people are saying that the Church needs to dialogue. And in fact, what the Church is doing is opening dialogue by asserting truths that all scientists recognize, which is throughout the animal kingdom within biology. Sexuality is there for reproduction. Among us humans, it's procreation because we participate in God's creative power by engendering new human life, which has a spiritual soul. The document is very careful from the Congregation for Catholic Education to say that every child has a right to a mother and a father, because being brought up by a man and a woman helps one to be well-rounded in all ways in terms of one's own sexual identity.
Now, the Vatican says this document will address a crisis in sexual education. So what is that crisis?
Well, there really is a great crisis today that this Vatican document is helping to give instructions to all of the institutions around the world, especially Catholic institutions, regarding how to address these challenging times in our culture, what I think can be properly called an anthropological heresy, which is a form of dualism, which really separates our own individuality from our embodiment by saying that we can be whatever we want to be, when in fact our being is a gift from God according to a specific nature and a specific sexuality. And therefore now all school institutions, all educational institutions around the world, especially those that are Catholic, are challenged to recognize and to promote a real identity according to one's own sexuality, as a boy or a girl, as a man or a woman, as male or female.
So then this will be put into place in Catholic schools across the world. How?
Well, this is a real challenge because in many jurisdictions, it's certainly true in some states in the United States, there are now civil restrictions, even prohibitions, to recognize certain forms of what is really proper gender identity according to one's own sexuality. In some places, this is viewed as discrimination, which is really quite bizarre. If I'm a man, to say that if you consider me a man, that's somehow discriminatory. Because there are some jurisdictions in the U.S. that want people to be able to affirm themselves to be whatever they would like to be, not what they truly are. So here, the Vatican, the Catholic Church, we have our feet on the ground and we're saying, you are what you are. You are what nature speaks of you. You are according to your own bodily identity.
Okay, Father Robert Gahl, ethics professor at the Pontifical University of the Holy Cross. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jason. God bless you.